What's going on, motherfuckers? Welcome to the Crocs and Hot Pocket Show. Today is August 6th, 2017, and this is episode number 32. Today, my special guest for the 1v1 show is my homie Bourbon. Bourbon is a really great friend. I've been gaming with this dude for a really long time, and it was only a matter of time before he got on the show. So, Bourbon, what's up, dude?
Oh, not much. It's all good.
It's all good, baby.
Getting wrecked on some PUBG earlier today, so the salt was flowing. The salt was flowing. I'll tell you what.
We will definitely get into a little bit of pub discussion later on. So good to hear you're doing well, and it's a pleasure to have you on the show, dude.
Thank you. Pleasure to be here.
Absolutely. If you guys want to help support the show, ask a question, confess your dying love, or is it undying? Dying?
Undying.
Do you want to confess that you're dying to us and that you love us? Or give us any kind of feedback at all. Feel free to leave a review of the podcast on iTunes. Or you can email us, as somebody did last week, at Crocs@Naaackers.com. Send us whatever the fuck you'd like. It can literally be anything, except for dicks. I get those from somewhere else. So from the email vault, we got a message from our homie Good Bowler. He said, "Hey man, been really enjoying the podcast recently. Keep up the great work." Bowler, you're a goddamn saint. Thank you, sir. And before we get into the questions for Bourbon, we do have a quick message from our sponsor. The sponsor, of course, is Dr. Mark. He actually sponsored a show probably about a couple weeks ago, and now he's back. So once again, our sponsor this week is Dr. Mark Seaman Cookbook. From a muffin lettuce sandwich to a Korean taco, every dish will be dripping with love. Enjoy the presence of your children with every meal without actually having to talk to them. Dr. Mark's Seaman Cookbook. Come on, man. Just throw some cum in there. Thank you, Dr. Mark, for sponsoring another episode of Crocs and Hot Pockets. We thoroughly enjoy your lack of money, because this is a free sponsorship, and I don't really know what we're getting out of this deal, but I can tell, once this cookbook, .com is what we're getting out of the deal. That's what. All right, cool. Well, I have some starter questions for the podcast, Boob. You ready?
I'm ready.
All right. So first of all, where are you from?
I am from South Carolina. Lived overseas for a bit and moved back for school. Been here ever since. Lived on an island north of Australia, Papua New Guinea, if you've ever heard of that. So definitely a little bit of different grown-up experience. So that's where I'm from.
How many different countries have you lived in already?
Lived in actually only 2. I've traveled to about 10.
Jesus Christ.
Or through 10 or 12 or more. I don't remember.
And that was all before you were what, 25?
Oh, yeah, that was before I was 18. I was from 9 to 18.
Jesus Christ, that's insane. Out of all the places that you visited, what was your favorite to be in?
Oh, that's a tough one. Germany was really cool. Italy was really cool. The UK was really cool. I'd just say Europe in general is really cool. But it's one of those things I'd love to visit there. I'd love to go there more often, but I'd still live in the States.
So you wouldn't want to live in, no?
No, I'd go stay for a while, visit frequently, but I wouldn't want to live there forever.
Gotcha.
So.
Okay. All right. Well, what's your favorite word?
Word, just in general?
Yep.
Ojive.
What? That is not a word.
That is absolutely a word. So ojive is the geometry, specifically the curves that describe the shape of a projectile and have to do with the penetrating performance. Hey.
Hey. Ojive.
Yeah.
Okay. Can you okay, so I'm looking at it right now and I'm seeing a bunch of maps of fucking bullets. Have you ever used this in a sentence that was not referring to ammunition?
Ammunition? No, absolutely not.
No? Okay.
No. Actually, technically, I think it also goes to architecture as well. So vaults in cathedrals and whatnot actually also have ogives. So your vaulted cathedral ceilings and whatnot, I think it also applies. But
okay.
No, in my context, strictly weapon related.
Okay.
Big surprise.
Yeah, no, that's an impressive word. I actually I don't know what I expected from you, but that's pretty
Something profane.
yeah. I mean, not even that, but just like I know the hobbies that you have. So I expected something along those lines, but not that kind of word.
No, my favorite dirty word is tank. That's like, oh, let's go, baby.
Baby, let's tank. You want to go get tanked?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, baby, let's talk about tanks. Have you ever had a female? Have you ever been able to talk about tanks with a female?
No, God, no.
No, not at all.
Not even once.
Okay.
I mean, they like instantly. I just warm up to it, and like you instantly see their eyes just glass over. And I'm like, I'm wasting my time.
I would assume if you had an experience up to this point that you've been able to talk tanks with a female, I assume you'd be married by now.
Oh, that'd be a keeper. Done.
Yeah. All right. Awesome. Next question. What is your favorite curse word?
Am I even allowed to say it?
Yeah, there's no limits as long as it's not.
Probably something along the line of something fucking cunt. Something.
Oh, you fucking cunt. That's how. I mean, that's probably one of the first things. Do you know what was probably the first game we ever played together?
You didn't really play. You know what? It might have been. Did you ever play any? What's it? The Arma 3 Wasteland. Did you ever play any Wastelands?
Nope.
With the gang?
Mm-mm.
Yeah, from. I know you never really played much. You never really played much. Oh, I
Altus?
can't think of anything today. I have no words. Yeah, you never played any Altus.
Okay.
So it would probably be maybe H1Z1. I don't know.
Okay.
Or maybe Battlefield. I don't remember. Maybe one of the Battlefield servers.
Okay.
I honestly don't know. Like, I've known you for so long, I cannot remember like when we actually started playing games together.
What was by the way, can you tip down your camera just a teeny bit? Like just like like just tilt it like downwards. Just a tiny bit. I'm trying to get this stupid.
Let me see what I can do.
No, not, like the physical camera. Like just oh, there we go. That's perfect.
No, that's software.
Perfect. Oh, software. Got you. All right. I'm trying to think. What was the big game GSN was playing when you first joined, or just first started playing?
Altus. I got banned from Altus for RDMing a bunch of Op4 guys. I regret nothing.
Fuck Op4, dude. You guys watching this? Fuck you guys.
me and General 187 just murked like a whole helicopter full of Op4 guys because it was the first time joining the server. We didn't know any of the rules, so we just ruined their lives. And they instantly started whining, complaining, and even released the video, which General saved.
No way.
Trophy. Yeah.
Wait, a video complaining about you guys?
No, it was a video from their perspective, just getting absolutely dunked on.
Yeah. So was that your first Altus experience? Or had you played?
Yeah, actually it was.
Okay.
General was like, dude, yeah, let's go play some Altus Live. It's like RP or something. It was like, Altus Live, let's go play. And so we didn't have any idea what's going on. So we were like, oh, we farmed some peaches, got some guns, and decided to shoot people.
This is our new favorite game.
Fail RP! You didn't properly engage.
The amount of rules that server had, just any role play server.
Eddie, that's the way it happens. Like, even like I was later part of Arma 3 Life, which was one of those really big whitelisted only servers. A lot of really big streamers were on it. That was really kind of, I think, what eventually the Altus, or not Altus, the San Antos Life, the GTA 4 Life servers came from. And even that one, that had like, you had to have like legit applications, you had to have references. Like it was harder than my actual job to get in there. And like it's still turned to shit with like drama and stupidity. I mean, just people cannot just play the game and just have fun. It just turns into this stupid salt fest and drama fest.
People get
adult people 20 over 18, whitelist only, and it still gets ridiculous. But anyway,
there's even now with the Grand Theft Auto 5 roleplay servers, like the way some people act in that game is terrifying. It's absolutely terrifying.
Inevitable. It's literally inevitable. These people get so caught up in this pretend that they cannot act like adults.
Yep. All right. What profession other than the one you're doing right now would you like to attempt?
Oh boy. Demolition Expert would be awesome. Just you watch some of those. Have you ever seen? There's Shockwave porn. It's just some awesome just blowing shit up. Like look that
No.
up on Reddit. It's a great subreddit. It's everything from like IEDs, like people like doing controlled detonation of IEDs to like bomb testing, everything. Um, oh man, I've toyed with the military service, something like that. I don't know. The list goes on. There's so many cool things to do.
Is it true?
Dive instructor. I just met a gal who's like a dive instructor, and she gets to scuba dive for free because she's teaching people how to scuba dive. I'm like, how cool is that?
That one of the best jobs has to be the one you get to do while you're teaching other people to do.
Right.
Because that's like your excuse to just do it all the time.
Yeah, and that's how you really learn stuff. Is like until you like that's the true metric of you really know how to do something is when you can teach somebody else how to do it.
Yep. And that's how you know your shit. And that's what people know you know your shit.
Exactly.
Describe your perfect Sunday morning.
Oh, see, that really depends because it just really depends on how I feel. Some days, like my perfect Sunday is I get up at like 10, make coffee, don't do anything, never leave the house. I just stay inside all day. And then there's other times where it's like, I'll go out with friends, we'll either watch a movie, we'll go do whatever, go to the lake, go hiking, go on a ruck, just really depends. Go shooting. I haven't done that in a long time, but.
So you would actually choose to be active on your Sundays?
Oh, absolutely. Sometimes I'm crazy. What can I say? I wasn't today. I didn't leave the house. Today was the former Sunday, not the latter.
I left the house twice today. Both times were to get food.
You madman. Oh, well, okay.
Yeah. There's this tiny diner right by our house, and they have fucking amazing. They used to have amazing food, but they also have really fucking good.
I mean, I was just there. Like, where in relation to it?
So the main road that I live on, if you were to if you were to go out our garage and go left and go down like a mile or two, the tiny little cafe, like New York style size cafe. Like you thought Post was cramped. This place is even more cramped. But I had it was called a Big Daddy burrito or breakfast burrito or something.
I'll give you a Big Daddy burrito.
Ooh, take it. It was eggs, ham, bacon, sausage, tomatoes, wrapped in a burrito, and then there was shredded cheese and sausage gravy that was poured on top of it. If anybody wants to see what this burrito looked like, it is in the Eat and Drink channel in my Discord. Probably the only better breakfast burrito that I've had was at like a music festival. It was like a food truck breakfast burrito. I can't say breakfast. I just can't fucking say it. And it was super good. And then Weenie gets something called a country skillet, where it's just scrambled eggs, hash browns, cheese, sausage gravy. I think hers had sausage and bacon too, but it was fucking good.
Yeah, I have a weakness for breakfast food in general and breakfast burritos.
It's really difficult for me to get behind. My main problem with breakfast foods is if they're too fluffy. Like if it's just too much fluff. I need meat. I need to bite into meat.
You need that meat.
I need it in my life.
You need that good 42 meat.
No, 42 has the best meats. You know what I'm saying?
He has the best meat.
All right. What is your biggest pet peeve?
Oh.
Other than fucking cunts.
Those. I don't know. Probably, okay, one is the grocery store where it says clearly in letters that are like 8 inches tall, 10 items or X number of items or less. And they've got their cart stacked like 2 feet deep full of shit. And they pull right up to this thing like, can you read? Are you literate? Like, that's clearly not even remotely close to 10 items or 15 items or 20 items. And then just annoying drivers. That's probably stuck in traffic. Like you would have really seen me absolutely lose my shit is when somebody's like, it's on a 2-lane road and somebody's going below the speed limit. I have somewhere to be. Not good. Very bad.
How is general traffic around where you live?
See, that's what surprised me is I can be going 25 over the speed limit in Greenville, and there'll be somebody at any given time of day riding my ass to go faster. So it's crazy, which is what blew my mind about Michigan is how everyone without fail was going the speed limit. Exactly. I've never seen that before in my life.
Yep.
Don't even know what's up with that.
And
I
then,
don't know how that's possible.
yeah, as you get closer to Detroit, it's like 5 miles per hour slower, 10 miles per hour slower. You're trying to merge onto a freeway with a speed limit of 70. There's somebody going 45 in the right lane. What are you doing? Boom.
I would lose it. I would have a meltdown.
That's probably half of the times I try and get on the freeway is somebody going below 50 in the right lane, in the merging lane.
See, ours is trying to like weave it through people that are going like Mach 10, and you're on the entry lane, the entry lane, and you're like got to accelerate to warp speed in like 100 yards to be able to merge in there. So yeah.
Is it more common?
It's very different.
Is it more common for you?
It's all the Yankees too. It's all the Northerners. No disrespect, but
Hey.
Everybody goes down to Florida, then comes back up because they're like, "Oh, wow, Florida sucks." No.
All that bath salts in the air, just making people fucking crazy. Is it more common for you to merge from the right side onto the freeway or from the left side onto a freeway?
Always on the right side, actually.
Okay.
I wouldn't say almost exclusively.
I think it's Canada, mainly Toronto, where most of the merging is done from the left side, and it's terrifying because that's the fucking fast lane.
Canadians, man.
I don't get it.
What can you say? God love them, but man, merging on the left lane. Absolute madmen.
It might not. I just remember there was somewhere I traveled to that it wasn't far from Michigan where the majority of merging was done in the left lane. I thought that was insane. All right, next question. Burp or fart?
Burp.
Burp. Fair enough. If you could be the opposite sex for one day, what's the first thing you would do?
That's an excellent question. I don't even know.
Come on. You've never thought about this?
Probably play with those titties. I mean, let's be honest. I can't even imagine what it'd be like.
I like how your first answer is play with my own titties instead of get somebody else to play with my titties. It's like, oh, these are mine. I'm gonna get the first chance I can.
I mean, I've like played with somebody else's, but like, what's like, I don't know. I don't even know how to wrap my brain around that. Like, put yourself in those shoes.
Like, I would love to see somebody have a penis for a day and just see what the fuck they would do with it. I just can't imagine what somebody would do if they had a penis for a day and what they'd think of it. There's like all the different things you could do. Like try and see how many different things you can slap your dick against. It's fucking hilarious. So I'm gonna watch somebody chase their dog around the house for like 20 minutes trying to slap their dog in the face with a dick. I've seen it happen, chat.
Really?
No.
I tell.
That may or may not be a personal experience, but I can or cannot deny.
Boba. I'm so sorry.
Boba's too quick for me. Now, Leroy.
You'd be like that. One person's like, yeah, he masturbated for 6 hours, and there's like there was picture evidence on the Wiki stream.
Yeah.
Like, how do you do that? Why would you do that?
That was during the 2-year anniversary thing. That someone, no, because it was you that said.
Weenie, as the proud owner of a penis, you would not want to do that.
Yeah.
Do not.
Yeah. No. The maximum you can jack off in a day without pain is 3. I'm gonna say 3. The amount of times you can ejaculate as a male without feeling some sort of chafing, blue balls, like not the opposite of blue balls, just like sore balls. Yeah, I would say 3.
Hey, especially it depends on like the duration too. But yeah.
Well, if this is the first day you have a penis,
6 hours.
6 hours.
Yeah, I'd be like, bam.
Yeah. Like you accidentally rub up against the pillowcase and you're gonna lose your load. Oh God, that breeze is in my pants. All right, next question: pineapple on pizza? Yes or no?
Death to the infidels. No.
No, wait. I thought you were on the yes side.
No, pineapple is an abomination on pizza. Should not be.
Okay, what's your...
Okay, podcast over.
Podcast done. Next guest. What is like your number one favorite topping for pizza then?
Oh, just the meat, man. Just all the meat. Now I do love a good what's it, supreme, which is like everything. It's got like onions, green peppers, mushroom, like 3 different kinds of meat, everything, but fruits. For the love of God, apples and pineapples are delicious and lovely vegetables and fruits, but they have no place on a pizza.
Have you had apple on pizza before?
Yeah, it's gross.
Yeah, I don't think I would like that at all.
It's not an Australian thing. They have like all kinds of weird shit on their
Okay.
pizza.
See, I've said this before. I love pineapple on pizza. I don't like pineapple by itself. I don't eat pineapple ever.
That doesn't make sense.
It doesn't. I just like the way it tastes on pizza. I can't.
Unsubbed.
Hey, no, not my channel. Fucking.
This is my okay. Everything I say is my own personal opinion. I have nothing against people who hold those other opinions, except for people who love pineapples on pizza. That's just wrong. You need to help yourself. But I can let it go. Okay.
Fair enough. Fair enough. All right, Sun Chips, Harvest Cheddar, Garden Salsa, or neither?
Either, but I prefer the cheddar.
Yeah! Oh, it's coming down, chat. You see how many people are saying Harvest Cheddar lately?
Whoa.
Having trouble
I
already.
love salsa. I love salsa and chips. Garden salsa is okay, but if I had to choose between the two, if those are the only options, I would say Harvest Cheddar.
If you put them up against those Voodoo Heat chips.
Oh, those Voodoo chips are so good.
I tried to eat a bag, and I couldn't fucking get through it. I just couldn't.
They're so good. So savory. It was like Creole and Cajun, and then like salt and vinegar on top of that. There's just so many flavors. It's just an explosion of flavor.
When I was eating them, I was doing fine, but by the time I got to halfway, they were just so spicy, and I was like, I can't get through this bag. There's no way.
See, I don't even remember them being spicy at all.
I'm a bitch. I'm a little bitch when it comes to spicy food, man. There's nothing I can do about it. I'm trying. All right, next question. If you could bathe in anything other than water and be completely butt naked clean afterwards, what would you choose? And you can't say bourbon. Can't bathe in yourself,
No.
all right?
No. I mean, like the liquor, or like
what else would bourbon refer to?
I don't know. Like you're saying myself.
No, like because your name is Bourbon, like you can't jump into your own body to bathe yourself.
I would say money, maybe, followed closely by like ammunition, although that'd be extremely uncomfortable.
Okay, if you ever fucking start streaming, your first emote has to be you naked in a bath full of ammunition. Like, or the
like,
American Beauty shot with like little tank rounds over your nipples and your penis. There you go. You've already got your first emote. By the way, what's going on with that? Soon?
It's gonna happen. Okay, I was gonna start, like, I was fired up about it, and then no. Well, yes and no, Paul. Sorry, I got distracted by chat. Bourbon, or I totally got completely derailed by that. What was the question?
Streaming. When are you gonna fucking start streaming?
Oh, okay. So yeah, I was all fired up. I was gonna go ahead and start streaming War Thunder, and the devs fucked it up.
Really?
They made this gigantic change to the meta. Okay, so there's two categories of modes you can play. So there's tank battles, and then there's air battles, and you've got like arcade, realistic, simulator that are like varying degrees of hardcore. And tanks are my thing. Tanks are my jam. I'm mediocre at best at planes. It's not really my thing. It's not really what I enjoy, especially playing with a mouse and keyboard. Not really my thing, especially in realistic. So I don't really play planes. I don't want to play planes. I want to play in tanks. And they changed it so that everybody spans airplanes in tank battles to the point where, and it's the nations like the U.S. and Great Britain bring, like, you're 2 minutes in and there's like 10 fucking cast planes in the air just bombing the shit out of everybody.
Oh god.
And it's just it's bad. Like, I pulled up this there was something on the subreddit, and it was like all the people in queue, and it was like 3 in Germany, 4 in Russia, 12 in US, and like 40 in Great Britain. It was just like ridiculous. Everybody has gone. It's just like the meta is fucked.
So is there no tank only like maps or servers?
See, that's the thing. Like, I wish there was. Like, I wish there was no planes. Like, and it's got to the point where they're like, well, we'll just bring a fighter plane, and then you can shoot down the cast planes. I don't want to fucking bring a fighter plane. I'd be playing planes if I wanted to do that. I'm playing tanks. Like, how is this so difficult to understand?
And because it started as a tank game, no planes.
No, it started as a plane game. Actually, it started as a plane game. It started War Thunder was originally planes, and originally they were to do all three. And basically, they're competing with World of Warships, but they have planes, tanks, and they're starting into the phase of naval. Although it's like just smaller ships, like PT boats, patrol craft, and like destroyers are like the biggest ships. So it's not like World of Warcraft or World of Warships where it's like everything from like destroyers to battleships. But they may get there. We'll see.
Gotcha.
But yeah, so the meta is like kind of goofy, but I did play a little bit just I think yesterday actually. I played a couple rounds and did all right. So soon TM I'll be.
Is there any other game that is specifically tank based that is like War Thunder, or is it kind of the only one like it?
Like World of Tanks it really depends on like how technical you want to get. As far as like realistic and kind of like quasi accurate, War Thunder is the only real big game out there now that's unless you go straight to like sim level games like T-34 versus Tiger, or that's really the only one I can think of off the top of my head.
Okay.
Or any like straight like simulators like T-72 Balkans on Fire or Steel Beast, which is modern. I mean, it's really kind of an overlooked niche, honestly.
And I wouldn't think it would be.
You wouldn't think. But then there's a lot of games that have it that are combined arms. Like the original Red Orchestra, there was a fantastic mod for it called Darkest Hour Normandy. Really great mod. Great. I spent a ton of time on that game. That's really where I really picked up playing tanks. No World of Tanks. We won't talk about them.
not even close.
Oh, it's so goofy. Like you can hit the mud flap of a tank with nothing behind it, and you can take away HP from the tank and kill it by shooting a completely it doesn't do anything. And you can kill the tank by hitting that thing repeatedly because it has no like arm value. Like the amount of stuff about that, like just purely just goofy arcade shit, like invisible tanks, the whole nine yards. I played it a little bit. I got all the way up to tier 10. But as soon as War Thunder came out, I uninstalled, dropped it, never looked back.
So, well, that's kind of totally. For some reason, I thought World of Tanks was more of like an arcade style shooter.
Oh, it's very arcade.
Oh, is arcadey.
That's honestly why I don't like it, because it's extremely arcadey. And like the mechanics are just goofy. Like you can have a tank sitting in a bush hiding, he can see you and shoot you, and you can't see him because unless there's like these values match up, he'll be invisible even though he's like within like actual line of sight of you. Like, yeah, it's riddle me that. So he can be invisible, cloaked, shoot you, and unless your spotting value is greater than his camouflage value, you won't see him no matter how close you are to him.
Gotcha. Do you still have the video of you? It's like you against 3 tanks.
Nimbus just sent me that, actually.
Okay.
He just sent me that.
Please make a note to resend that this way, because I remember watching that for the first. Because wasn't there like epic music that was put behind it too?
It was "I Will Survive" by what's his name?
Yeah. Okay, you gotta send that to me again, because I remember watching that the first time and I was fucking dying.
I actually, Nimbus just linked it to me.
Yeah, go for it. Okay, so you're, I guess, swinging back. If you were to bathe in anything, your choice was ammunition or money.
Money.
Yeah.
I think was the two.
Okay.
I'm linking it to you because I don't want to get banned from chat.
Oh yeah. Well, oh yeah, you're good. All right, sweet. All right, saving that. If there's anybody else in chat, next I'll throw in chat for you. This is a video where it was 1v3.
Actually, I think there was 4 because another one that was further up the hill that shot at me after the other 3 were like all right around me.
Okay.
And this was before it changed, where nowadays, if you lose like if you have like one, if you lose so many, like a certain percentage of your crew, you're actually knocked out. Well,
Okay.
this one, unless all your crew were dead, you could still move people in between stuff. So you could have him either drive and you couldn't shoot, or you could either switch him to like load the tank, and then you could switch him to like shoot the gun. And so like I was like, there was literally one guy left alive. All the other people were dead in my tank, and this guy was just switching back and forth, just shooting.
It's a great fucking clip. So chat, go and check out that video or bookmark it for later. It's fucking hilarious. It's Bourbon in a tank defending a point, and it's 1v4, and just to hear him scream bloody murder and try and take out these people
like a little bitch.
is fucking hilarious. Yeah, best job I ever had. I love that movie so much. All right, next question. What's your favorite emoji?
Does the Empire sign count as an emoji? That's one now, right? In Discord, I stretched it a little bit.
Kinda. I would say native to your phone.
Native to my phone, probably the minus underscore minus, just that like whatever.
Oh,
resting bitch face, you know, kind of, yeah.
All right,
there you go.
I'll go down with that. All right, dude.
That's how I live my life.
So, one of the last questions. Well, I guess I really can't ask you this one because you aren't streaming quite yet. And I already know. I already know the question or the answer to this next one. There's gonna be chicken wings, bone in or bone out, but we had you here. For those of you who don't know, Bourbon was. So you live in Georgia,
South Carolina.
Close. Oh, that's right. You drove to Georgia in order to fly out.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so. He was actually in town like 3 weeks ago now with some other fellow gaming community people and Twitch people. We had like a
just about.
Yeah, it's
maybe 4.
About that.
I think because it was what, the 14th, right? So it's the 6th of August. So.
It's almost come up in a fucking month.
Yeah.
What the hell?
Maybe.
That's insane. Yeah, and that means, oh my god, that's terrifying.
Time flies, man.
It does. But we had a mini
so
GSN/Twitch meetup here in Metro Detroit, Michigan. And we pretty much just ate, drank, and watched Twitch for like 6 days straight, which is my ideal vacation. Good beer, good alcohol, good food. Shit. But yeah, so chicken wings, bone in or bone out, but you prefer.
See, okay, it depends. It really depends. I am very mercurial in that regard. Like sometimes I'll be like, I don't feel like picking apart like meat off these little spindly bones. I just want to just stuff my face full of chicken. And other days are like, you know what? I can get down nons and bones right now. So nons and bones.
I definitely have days where I don't want to fuck with bones. I just want to eat flavored chicken.
That's what it was. It wasn't like, you know, I have anything against bone-in wings. Like I've eaten plenty of bone-in wings on my day, and I will eat plenty more. It was just that day I was like, you know what?
Have you, in your travels to the very distant countries around the world, have you ever been anywhere where you have seen an animal and eaten it? Like seen the animal alive and eaten it in the same day? Like a luau, like where they take a pig and roast that shit that day.
Actually, now that I've mentioned it, yeah. Well, we would raise our own animals too. So that happened frequently, and then too they would have the natives actually had, you know, they call them moo-moos, which is basically, I guess, similar to that. So they would dig a hole in the ground, cover it up with banana leaves, fill it up with water, or not really fill it up with water, sprinkle a bunch of water in it, set a bunch of rocks in a fire, heat up the rocks. Then they would pile in a bunch of like meat, sweet potatoes, like roots and all that kind of stuff, and then wrap the rocks in leaves and then like fill it up and then cover it up. And so basically the rocks, the heated rocks, would cook and steam, and it would basically like pressure cook it all in this whole. And I have no audio on you, but
no, I'm just mouthing.
Oh, okay. So yeah, it was basically that. Yeah, it was like a steamer. So they basically steam all of it, and they call it a moo-moo. So you know they would like slaughter a pig right there, or like, you know, goats, pigs, and then cut it up and throw it all in there and cook it. So yeah, frequently.
Damn, I'm jelly. How long do rocks stay heated for?
I mean, if it's a big rock and they heat it up in a fire, that's the thing too, because it's a rock, you know, it doesn't It's not like water where it can only get like X number of degrees hot. Those rocks get hella hot. Like sometimes, if they don't really choose them well, they explode in the fire because of like the steam in them.
Jimmy, what kind of rock is this? Go get a better rock.
Just some shit rocks.
Get some of those crack rocks, please. All right, well, that is actually it. That's all I have for the starter questions for you. Thank you so much for answering all of those in a timely manner.
I try.
Try harder, Bourbon.
Try hard.
Try hard.
I'm not in try hard mode.
Did you see, the very popular ex-Twitch streamer Ice Poseidon, right?
I know of him.
He got try hard emote faces on every side of his car. It's just like, I think it's a Fiat. I think it's a black Fiat or a smart car. And there's this giant try hard decals on every side of his car now. Oh, Ice.
I wonder how often his car gets keyed, because
I don't think it's ever gotten keyed. But the last thing that he did, he got BDSM'd by a hooker in his bedroom and streamed the entire thing. But he just got tied up and spanked. I don't think he actually fucked the hooker.
That's pretty weak.
He just got.
I'm not into that myself, but from what I know of it, that's pretty lightweight.
Yeah, light at BDSM dash LITE light.
LITE, exactly.
All right. Well, first and foremost, what the fuck are you drinking right now?
Nothing fancy, just a Yuengling. So it's what I had in the fridge, but I don't know. It's I'm not like a beer snob, but it was funny. I went to happy hour with some buddies. Actually, I took off early for work to go to happy hour with some buddies, and it was like $3 all domestics, or no, it was like $1 or something all domestics, right? And they're saying they tried to sell me that Sam Adams is craft, and I'm not a beer snob, but I was like, that's fucking domestic. That's not craft beer. My ass.
Yeah. Something that's that mass produced.
Bigger than this building.
Yeah.
So anyway, yeah, it's I'll drink pretty much anything that's set in front of me, so I'm not particular. But I do appreciate a good beer. I tell you what, man, I need to get some monthly recommendations from the middle-aged stream, because that man knows his goddamn beer.
Dude, just follow him on Untapped, the app that he has. It's it's Facebook for beers. That's for mobile. And every time he has a new beer, he checks it into an app, and you can follow his feed and see all the stuff that he drinks. Gives you all the information, the ABV, what brewery it's from, what state it's from. It's actually really cool. I could never keep up with it because I just want to fucking drink my beer. I just give me it and let me drink it.
Not watch these see these notes about its aromas and all that stuff about it. Yeah, no, I feel you.
I used to be kind of heavy into putting the right beers in the right glasses and always having beer glasses ready to go or having them chilled. And then it just got really fucking lazy. And now I just drink them out of the can or the bottle because it's just too much for me.
I will say you can set a glass in the freezer for an hour or two, and it comes out and it instantly frosts over them.
It is wonderful, but every time I go to get a frosted glass, I realize I never put it in there. Yeah. Never fucking put it back.
Out.
God, that's a lazy asshole for you. Well, shit. Besides, I know that we hung out a couple weeks ago, and I kind of know what goes on just because of how often we talk. But is anything outside of gaming and possibly streaming going on exciting in your life right now?
Just trying to do more other things other than gaming. So actually did a beer and yoga. So I've been going to that Mondays, which you would say I know. I scoffed so much yoga and whatever. But that shit is hard.
Yeah, it's when you're drinking. Hard. Yeah.
Because a lot of it is well, for one, I'm hella inflexible, so that doesn't help any. And for two, a lot of it is, I guess it's what isotonic workouts, where you're not moving and you're basically holding your body weight stationary. And especially when you do that for extremely prolonged periods of times. So we do it at this brewery literally half a mile from my apartment, right next to the airport. And we go to that, and it's actually right there in the middle of the brewery. Everybody sets the yoga mats out. They have like an instructor that comes out, and they do yoga for an hour, and then you get a free craft beer, and it's $10 for an hour of yoga and free beer. And
That's not bad.
And it's not bad. So you get yoga, you get some exercise, then you get a free beer, and the beers are really good. They have these like all kinds of like coffee beers. They had like this mango radler, which is like it's the German equivalent of a what's the Leinenkugel? A Leinenkugel is a shandy. So yeah, it's the German equivalent of a shandy. All kinds of really, really cool beer. Oh yeah, there's hella chicks, Paul. Hella chicks. It's amazing. That's the other. That's the other motivation.
You kind of left that out,
it's
Bourbon.
Like win-win. It's like it's perfect. Would recommend.
So do you enjoy yoga now?
Yeah, I do. It's hard and I'm really bad at it, but I do enjoy it. It's a good workout. So I definitely so I've been doing that on Mondays. And then Tuesdays I've gotten into like a meetup volleyball group. Just doing more stuff. I have a bunch of models that I need to build that are sitting in my shelf. What?
Do you have a bunch of models you need to fuck from yoga class?
No. Models like toy models.
Okay.
But I've got one balsa and then a plastic one. So
nice.
Those are a lot of to-do things. But yeah, most of the time it's just, work, game, the grind. So.
Oh yeah. I feel like beer and yoga is as contradictory as free pizza at Planet Fitness. They do like a free pizza and bagels or some shit at Planet Fitness.
I mean, the thought has occurred to me. I'm like, whatever like health I am gaining from this, I'm pretty much canceling out by this like delicious porter here, but I regret nothing. So
it's probably a good way for not only advertising for the brewery, but to get people who are not comfortable enough to go to like a yoga studio. It's like, hey, do you want to come do yoga with me? By the way, it's also inside a brewery, so we can get beer.
Involved.
Yeah, and so
and $10.
Yeah, and hot chicks.
And hot chicks. Yeah.
And if your friend, worst case scenario, you just say, hey, if you don't like the yoga, just drink more beer. It will become enjoyable for you.
That's right. They were actually talking about a guy who was like literally drinking beer while doing the yoga. He was bummed out. He's like, man, you weren't giving us any breaks to even drink beer. It's like, well, that comes afterwards. But yeah, it was funny. He was taking the beer part of beer and yoga very seriously.
I wish it was doable and healthy to be wasted and go for a run. Have you ever been just fucking wasted and had to run for whatever reason, whether it was from like a lady or a cop or nothing ever?
I've never been. Well, for one, I don't really get wasted that often, just because like the times I have been so absolutely god awful that I'm like, no,
yeah,
I just don't want to get there. But no, I've never been to the point where I'm like, oh shit, gotta go, totally blackout drunk.
Okay.
Have you? That's
yes.
an important question because it sounds like you have.
Yeah, I have. It was twice was when I was underage at house parties. I got raided by cops, so I had to run. But it was so fun. Being drunk and running was awesome.
How many trees did you run into?
How many trees?
Did you run into anything? Like,
no,
did you run into
it was
anything?
no, dude. When you know that there are cops behind you, you are laser focused. You're like, I cannot hit anything. I cannot trip over anything. I have to fucking run. So
you basically got insta sober. Like as soon as like you heard the sirens and they pulled up in front of the house, you're like,
I don't remember that click of soberness. I just remember being like, this fun was super cool, and I feel fuzzy. There's been other times where I've been at the beach. And I like to, of course, obviously get wasted first, but run into the water as fast as possible from like, I don't know, 50 yards back. There's nothing better than being wasted and just charging into freezing cold water because you're out of
water and alcohol. This is a great combination.
Yep.
Yeah.
There one time, I think I've talked about this on the podcast before, but there is this one time I will never forget. We were at the beach and I was, I don't know, like 8 or 9 summer shandies deep. And I remember running to the edge of like right where the water started, and I laid down on the beach where the water just came over my ears. So like I was just staring up into the sky and the clouds, and all I could hear was lake because my ears are completely covered. And I remember feeling like I was about to ascend into the clouds. It was like one of the most blissful moments ever. So if you have the option to be drunk and also be at the beach, I'm just telling you right now, guys, it's one of the best things ever.
I'll have to keep that in mind next time I'm at the beach.
Yeah. Well, and shit, I mean, what did you get kind of woozy the first night you were here? But that was probably because of I remember it was the morning after you said, I do not feel good.
I don't know what my deal was because I did drink a shitload of that tower, but I don't know. Like I felt fine then, but man, next morning I was like, no, it's not good.
Not great. Well, that was that beer tower night?
That was the beer tower night.
Okay. There's a bowling alley near me, Chad, that does $17 Miller High Life beer towers. It is 100 ounces of beer in your own portable keg that they bring to you. $17 for fucking 100 ounces, and it fucks you up real good.
Cheap beer does not agree with me in that volume.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Cannot handle it.
It's a fucking lot.
And then there's Thunder over here. He's like, yeah, I do 2 or 3 though. I'm like, no.
Yeah, no, thank you. All right. Well, moving along to gaming, what have you been playing lately?
Oh man, a lot of PUBG. Been doing solo, not really so much solos recently. I'll let me get back to that because that's what I'm best at. The duos. Tried out the duos first person. It's good. Really like it. It's definitely a very different experience. Some squads. Ton of naval action. Just one of those weird ass little niche games that I play. And then just recently played a little bit of War Thunder. So yeah, that's a lot of what I'm playing. I have a bunch of video games that I want to play, but I just have not. You know the struggle.
Yeah.
Like, oh man, just the list is just so long. I kind of want to see. They was talking about like some Conan Exiles coming out with a big update. Wanted to check that out. Did play Depth actually with y'all for the 2-year anniversary stream. That was a lot of fun. So who knows, might be playing some more of that soon. Then just like some of these other weird ass games I play, like From the Depths. I played like 5 minutes of Dark Souls, but I want to get back to it. It's just one of those things that I've got to be like there's so many great games that are so much fun to play.
Yeah.
And like I want to play it, but one of the games I do have my eye on is you just streamed it. The World War II
Day of
Infamy. Day of Infamy. Yeah. Honestly, that game like brought me flashbacks of the OG pre-sellout Red Orchestra game, and I was like, this looks good. I have to get into that.
I recommend it. Highly recommend it.
It looks good. Definitely one of those things I'm gonna have to get back into. But yeah, a lot of naval action when like nobody else is around. That's pretty much what I default to. Go sail the high seas in search of glory, honor, and booty.
Is naval action strictly ship, or do you play a character where you can board ships?
It is strictly ships. Now you can board ships, but there's no first person. It's not like Sid Meier's Pirates where it turns into like you got 2 ships side by side and like you control a character fighting on the ship. It's just like the strictly UI based. You tell your crew what to do. You know, throw grenades over, shoot muskets, whatever, attack, counterattack, that kind of thing.
Gotcha.
It's just strictly very heavily simulated naval action. Probably one of the most authentic naval simulators I know of. It's pretty intense.
Okay.
It's probably one of those. It's you're playing naval action when you're talking about beam reaches and tacking and all that yard arms and nonsense like that. So actually, it's a lot of fun. It's a beautiful game, especially when you play it in 4K.
You 4K bastard. Models,
it's all the pixels. I need all of them. It's just so beautiful. The sound effects are just amazing. Like the sound of a broadside of guns going off. The combat, it's what it does well, it does so well. I can't put it down.
One of my favorite parts about Day of Infamy right now is the sound design in that game. The sounds are fucking awesome.
It's so, you don't even really think about it until you find one of those games that just nails it perfectly.
Yep.
But then, like in this game, it'll be twilight, and you'll be approaching, you'll be trying to like help out a friend who's like in battle and whatnot. And as you're like getting closer, and you just hear like that distant like muttered rumbling of their guns, and you can see like the flashes on the horizon. It's just incredible. It really is incredible when they really put that much time and effort into getting the sounds just right.
One of the first things I noticed about Battlegrounds was how fucking awful the sound was when it first came out. It was so bad.
It is getting better, but it's still not. You don't play that shit for the sounds.
No. Nope.
Which is funny, just because sound is such a huge part of that game. It's just like, as far as information and where things are coming from, like what's shooting, what's the sound of that gun. Yeah, it's comically bad, honestly.
Yep.
Yeah, I agree, Sander. The sound's still not good. It's usable, it's doable, it's workable, but it's not good.
I thought H1Z1's sound was bad, and then Battlegrounds came out and put that shit to shame.
Yeah.
Really fast.
I mean, but it's, they're getting there, and even with all of their missteps that they've had, I've never seen a developer who's been so on point as far as like responsiveness, feedback, just saying, hey, what's up? Because honestly, it's the communication. Like, you can fuck up pretty badly, and so long as you communicate early, often, and honestly about it, most people will at least give you a pass, or at least give you a second chance.
Yep.
So yeah.
Now we played Depth for Matt Weenie's 2-year stream anniversary, and when I first saw you guys playing it months back, I thought it was fun. The amount of fun that you guys were having was resonating through the stream. I didn't think it was going to be a game for me, but you guys did really well at portraying the fun aspects of the game. And then she asked me to play it for her 2-year stream anniversary with you guys, and I said yes. But on the inside, I was like, I don't know if I'm going to like this game or not. I might not. I'm going to give it a shot. And I ended up really fucking liking the game. Even when we were playing against other people that weren't in our group. But then once we got a full party and we were playing against each other and separating into channels and learning about the abilities of the sharks and the divers and like the different strategies. And it was just a good learning experience of a game. I've never played a game like that ever. Yeah,
it's definitely one of those asymmetric type games that, I don't know if did you ever play what's it called? It's the aliens versus like these like spacemen. It's not Prey. Is it Prey? I'm gonna have to look this up now.
The original Prey was it was you were a Native American guy. Okay.
No, it's wow, key the brilliant light of my browser here.
Bling! And that's not the 4K monitor that's brightening?
That is the 4K monitor.
Oh, okay.
It's just like this spotlight of bright blazing light.
Wait, your 4K isn't centered? It's off to your right?
Yeah, I normally look at it. It's just the way I have it all weird.
Oh, okay.
Because of this. Otherwise, it'd be pointing like way off over to my room.
Gotcha.
It's a place of horrors we won't speak of. God, somebody help me out here. It's
first-person shooter, RTS.
It's a first-person shooter, and then you've got like all these aliens. Like you got these little aliens that crawl on the walls, and then you got these big giant aliens, and then you can have like it's almost like Aliens versus Space Marines, but not. You can have like armor, and like you have like these little flamethrowers and stuff. It's, oh my god.
That's talking about Alien Swarm. No, the Alien Swarm is not a first-person shooter. Yeah, I've
not Alien Swarm. No, it was a mod too for something as well. Somebody help me out. No, not Doom. God, this is killing me. It's gonna really bother me now. I can't think of it. I'll bring it up if I think of it. It's gonna come to me sooner or later. It might be like 3 days from now. I'm gonna say randomly, just like blurt out some name, and you're like, huh?
Well,
But
if there's anybody in chat who's interested about the game, I played Depth for the first time this past Saturday, and we played it for 5 or 6 hours straight. And I felt like I blinked and those 6 hours went by. I got the game for free thanks to Paul. Paul actually gifted it to me, but I think the game is only $5 at the moment. So if you guys are looking for a new game, it's basically parties of 6. 4 divers versus 2 sharks. Divers have to escort Scuba Steve, this underwater drone that hits 3 different treasure chests underwater. So you have to escort this drone, pick up treasure, collect money, and it's kind of like fucking Killing Floor, to where you start off with a weak weapon and then you collect money and you upgrade your gun or get new guns as you go along in the round, and you start over every single time. Super fucking fun. So I would highly recommend it. I think if I was to like recommend a game to you guys this month, say, hey, this is the best game you can get for less than $10, fucking Depth. I would say that for sure.
Hateful Action. No, I'm just kidding.
No, don't. Either that or that $1 zombie game we spent like 5 hours in.
Yeah, the over 9,000 zombies. Holy shit. I have never been so zoned in, so focused, and then so frantic in my life. That game will just have you like, you want to say about not blinking, like literally you cannot blink your eyes, just like,
yeah, I've never
the whole time
gotten so sore so fast. Hey, seriously though, my fucking hands were hurting after like an hour, because I think we had one round of over 9,000 zombies that lasted an hour and a half, just hour and a half straight.
Brutal. It was
of
insane.
clicking.
It's just more and more and more and more, and just more. And it's not like there's no break. There's a brief pause, and then it just gets, the tension just ratchets up relentlessly with each wave. It gets more and more brutal. So yeah, that game is nuts.
Thinking about it,
since that game was insane.
Yeah, I thinking about it is making my eyes hurt a little bit, but that is hands down the best $1 game I've ever played on Steam, hands down.
Yeah, I'd buy it again for $1.
Well,
more.
Speaking of PlayerUnknown, so we have the first person thing that I want to go back to, because I haven't played it yet, so I want to get a little bit of your input on it. But this other thing that I don't know if you'll really have like a say on, but it's in regards to PlayerUnknown banning stream snipers. And with PlayerUnknown, this is a huge fucking issue right now. And ever since they've added honking, stream snipers will just follow streamers and just honk over and over and over and over. And it's so goddamn annoying. It's not even funny. So in the last week or so, Summit said that he had gotten, not Summit. Summit complained about a stream sniper on stream, and that ended up getting banned. And then, have you ever seen any clips from Grimm's? Very popular PlayerUnknown. Okay.
I know I've seen a couple, but like, honestly, his personality isn't something that I would really watch. And I realize that he's extremely talented at what he does. He's really good at the game. But to me, it's all about the personality of the person you're watching. And like, it's just not really that entertaining to me.
Well,
no, I haven't watched it, but I do know of him.
You know of him? Okay. So he's getting very proud, I would say, as a popular Battleground streamer. And the way that he comes off regarding stream snipers and the like is very pompous, it seems. And so there was basically a statement that was put out by PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds, and I'm just going to read it real quick. I've seen the data the community team looked at before issuing the ban, and the ban was indeed justified. The tracking data shows that the player in question tried to join the same lobby as their target multiple times. While we understand we cannot prove that this player was watching the target's broadcast, we see no other reason why they would consistently attempt to be in the same lobby as someone who is broadcasting live, other than to have an advantage in the game. We have tracking in place that allows us to verify unfair players like this, despite what other players may think. For example, we can track when a player joins and quickly disconnects from multiple lobbies, only staying in a game when they are in a lobby as the same lobby as their target. We are constantly developing new tracking systems and ways to ensure fair play from all players. We don't generally mention this publicly, as it would give valuable information to those that try and cheat the system. No one gets special treatment, and if the data doesn't back up a claim, no ban is handed out. The community team is committed to ensuring everyone, no matter who they are, has a level playing field when they are in game. So my first question to you is, do you think stream sniping is cheating? Black and white.
Well, to answer your question, I, as an opinion-pated person, I have opinions on anything, so you don't worry. I can form an opinion. I don't have any problem there. I would say that it is. Now, there may be some more benign but more obnoxious kinds of I say cheating, but I mean, really cheating is just pure and simple is using things, whatever it is finding means, methods, or doing things to gain an advantage that you wouldn't have just playing the game like everyone else is playing. Whether that's aimbots, ESP, whatever, wall hacks, you name it, unlimited ammo, whatever, things like that. That's all you could say strictly qualifies as cheating. And now if it's on a single player game where no one else is affected and you just want to fucking fire up cheat engine and do whatever, knock yourself out. You're not affecting other people. But when you're playing against people and you're trying to give yourself an unfair leg up that's not within the realm of the game that they can't do, then that's cheating. And so using somebody's own stream against them is shitty. Now, granted, can they do things to mitigate that? Sure. But I mean, I think I don't know whether they should be banned for stream sniping. I think it's just a douche move and it's really low life quality. Actually, one of my buddies, General 187, was playing Rust and he was actually getting stream sniped by these guys who somehow knew all the people he was playing with and the exact layout of their fortifications and where everybody was. It's really dumb. It's really low, and especially in games like that, like that's just so shitty. But it also tells me that you can't beat them straight up because they were still killing these kids left and right.
Yep.
But they were blowing up their base and raiding them and whatnot. I was thinking, if you have to use that tool as watching their stream to gain that kind of advantage, then that just means you can't handle fighting them straight up. And whether it's deserving of a ban, I don't know.
The counter argument I can see is that somebody using stream to gain advantage, you're gaining an advantage over that streamer, but killing that one person doesn't necessarily give you an advantage over the rest of the map. It kind of does because it's one or two less people on the field, but like what's the percentage of advantage you get by knowing 1 out of 100 people on the map? I'm not saying that's my opinion.
No, that's true. I get that, but that's still like in any given encounter, if you're using information that person doesn't have, like, hey, he's over here, he's looking this way, he's doing XYZ, here's what he's got.
Yep.
That's an unfair advantage.
Yep.
So I mean, okay, cheating, sure, and in the greater scheme of things, sure, yeah, it really doesn't give you that big advantage.
Yeah.
But
it's still it's ruining the experience of the game for a lot of people.
Yeah.
And for whatever reason, these streamers are getting a shit ton of flack for having a stance against stream sniping.
That's what blows my mind.
All these people want to do is just play games and put on a show for their audience, and somebody is purposefully trying to fuck with that venue for them.
And see, that's the thing too. It's personal too. It's not just anybody. It's not just some random person who's like, "Oh, I've got an aimbot. Oh, you just happen to be there and I shoot you."
Yeah.
Like that's like you log into their stream, you're watching their stream, and you're going to kill that person specifically. That's like, that would not be cool.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's just not cool kind of behavior. So I'd take a dim view of it. Whether they get banned or not, that's up to the developer. But I don't feel sorry that somebody would get banned for doing that kind of thing.
Are you okay? So one of the common arguments for the viewers against the streamer is, well, if you don't want to be stream sniped, then you should put a 45-second delay on your stream. Do you think that's because I mean, for one,
that's not going to matter though. I mean, 45 seconds is like if you're like in the middle of a firefight, no. But then for one, they know where you are already. they know exactly how to get you. And we'll see that's too also how they're getting caught too. It's because when you land on somebody who lands on the other end of the map and makes a beeline for a specific person as they're going to find this person, there's no way that anybody without outside knowledge is going to know how to end up exactly where some person is.
Exactly.
Regardless of where they landed.
Yep. And if you see a person that is traveling way across the map, game after game after game after game, and they're queuing with the same people, it's not that hard to track. People think this is some like fucking Area 51 encrypted data that nobody can see. The people can, if they can obviously track where everybody is on the map at any given time. How do you think they fucking spectate invitationals and tournaments for pub? It's like, they obviously track that shit. And
same thing with teamers too. Like, you know, they can tell when two people in a solo player game are somehow just like intermingled with each other throughout the whole thing, and somehow mysteriously haven't died, even though they're basically like kissing each other the whole goddamn time.
Exactly. Yeah. It's like, you guys are kind of obviously working with each other, so yeah, this isn't gonna fly. Well, when it comes to first person, how are you enjoying it compared to third person shooting? And are you going to play one over the other now that first person has come out?
You know, that's an excellent question. I like both. Third person is a little bit faster paced. First person is a little bit more calculated, but at the same time, the same kind of moments happen. It's almost more surprising and whatnot too, because you're less aware of your situation. So like things can sneak up on you faster, and you don't have that as much awareness of your surroundings as you would have with third person. I like it. I will say my first intro to it was kind of rough because first time I tried it, it was bugged, and the person I was playing with, I think I was playing with Waltfield, one of the people at GSN, and we were in the lobby, and then we parachuted. And I was like, okay, we're marking the spot where we're parachuting. He's like, I don't see any mark. And then I looked up in the top like corner, and I was like, I don't see any icons of like where he was. Like we couldn't see each other. We weren't actually teamed together. Like it's a bug where you were teamed together, but you weren't actually teamed together. And so you can actually see them as a person. He just knew where I dropped. And so that feeling of like no player icon, no teammate icon over him. Like there's a person there. I was like, is this you?
Yeah.
And we actually didn't manage to shoot each other. We actually played for a little bit. But then the other problem with it is when it's bugged like that, if one person gets killed, you both are disconnected from the match and lose.
So okay.
Even though only one person is get killed. So that was my first intro to it. But since I've played it now more, I like it a lot. It's fun. Honestly, it evens out a lot of the goofiness that's like, I can be prone looking in this balcony and looking and have a complete knowledge of all my surroundings, and you'll never know until you're out in the open without a stitch of cover, and I just pop up and blast your ass, and there's nothing you can do to prevent that.
Yep.
So like we actually had a standoff in a building at Gatco, which I'm sure you know that kind of nonsense that goes down there, and won the fight because of the way that they can't really just kind of like sit there and like peek around third person through windows and whatnot, and we were able to win the fight. So I like it a lot. My impressions are, it's more balanced versus camping, sitting still, defending, waiting in ambush versus just attacking and being aggressive. So it's more, it's less of a strategy just sitting on your ass, just waiting and hiding.
Yeah.
With no risk to yourself. So overall, I like it. I still might play both. It'll be interesting to see what squads is like in first person perspective. But
is only duos allowed right now?
It's only duos. I don't know why, but it's only duos. I don't even know if it's singles. But that's the choice they decided to make. So yeah, It's really curious. Yeah.
I think first of all, the fact that Pub has 500,000 concurrent viewers, pretty much.
I just saw that. That is insane.
Well, that's insane. I feel like they can really just do whatever the fuck they want, but they are really choosing to do best by the player base, and I think that's probably one of the most honorable things about PlayerUnknown and the dev team is that they really are trying to make the best battle royale game possible for the players. And I think all of the patches and the updates that they have done since really speaks volumes for their passion and their respect for our passion too. I remember playing pub when it was a closed alpha, and it was nowhere near what the fuck it is now. And just the amount of changes that have come out in the past 6 months have just been, it has left me flabbergasted, sir, and very impressed.
You don't see that any more these days.
No.
Even from AAA producers with hundreds of employees, you just don't see that anymore. And it gives me hope that more people will come out and be like that, because what really he started with is it's a passion of his. He started as a mod. He's gone through iterations and he's getting it right. Whether it's this game or the next one, he's getting his game his vision for this game, he's getting it right.
Mm-hmm.
And I respect that. He's not selling out. He's not, oh, well, we're going to do what somebody else does. We're going to copy them. He's doing what he's doing. And I love that. And I wish more genres and more games would get that same treatment.
Mm-hmm.
I wish there would be tank games like that. I wish there'd be train simulators like that. I wish there would be farm simulators like that, where people would just super passionate for the game and make that game as best as they possibly can. We need more of that. Absolutely.
And I feel like that is the base infrastructure of most indie game developers. Is they truly just want to make the best game that they can for the people that love their genre of games, but they just don't have the staff or the funding in order to pull off that mindset. It's usually just a couple people. And even I think the studio Bluehole or Butthole or Blue Balls, whatever they are.
Bluehole, yeah.
I think they have 30 people working.
Yeah, it's super small.
Super tiny. The amount of
updates. There are mod teams bigger than that. Like mods, like game mod teams are vastly bigger than that. It blows my mind.
Yep. So, and I think we're gonna kind of see, I mean, indie games are on the fucking rise. They are for sure. Just look at what the creator of Stardew Valley was able to do by himself.
That's nuts.
Would you consider Minecraft an indie game when it first came out? Just because of the when it came out and how far removed it was from AAA titles? Would you say it started as like an indie game?
I don't know. I would say it's an indie game. But see, it's such a nebulous, vague term. Like, what classifies as an indie game?
Yep.
Is it like art style? Is it? I don't know. Like, I don't know really the metric that you'd fit it in. I would definitely say it kind of broke the mold. But
yeah, I couldn't give you the definition of it.
Maybe, I guess.
Yeah.
I know for a fact that it was if maybe not an indie game, it was certainly an inspiration for like the bajillion different voxel-based block building games that have spun off from it and around it and imitated it. So
Roblox!
Definitely pioneering, so yeah.
Definitely. So I think we're in a good spot. And to your point of not selling out, speaking of selling out, we have this new crate system that Pub is going to be releasing pretty soon. What's your thoughts on that?
I mean, like, it's cool and all. I bought some for points, and I need to remind myself to, like, has it reset yet? I need to buy some more. But I don't really care. It's their game. They can do what they want, and nobody's forcing you to buy it. It's skins, for God's sake. It doesn't matter. I know people who love skins, and that's the loot boxes and crate boxes, and that's their crack. Like, whatever floats your boat. That's okay. I say there's nothing wrong with, trying to monetize that way, get additional funds. If nothing else, it'll let them get funding to build another game or make more games or add more content. And I think, too, is this just something that I think this is just limited, a limited time thing for the Invitational or some event around it, isn't it? Just to raise money for the pot for this game, is for a tournament. I thought
I
that's the
don't
only
know
reason
about
they're
that
doing
one.
this.
Okay.
I thought I could be wrong about that. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong, but I want to say they're selling these keys and these crates and keys are to raise money for the pot. Yeah, they're going to charity for this event, something,
Okay.
and also to the prize pot. I don't know.
Well, I wonder because Psyonix said the same thing about their crates and keys. They said this money goes towards throwing events. But if you're always going to have events, you're always going to have crates and keys. So it's like, hey, we're only going to be selling keys when we're raising money for events. By the way, we're always going to have events going on, so there will always be crates and keys. So I personally don't give a shit. I like when it comes to Rocket League, I've spent over $100 on keys for crates. I don't give a shit. Yeah. I mean, I fucking love Rocket League. What can I say?
This is true. And I love watching you play Rocket League too, which is funny for a game that I cannot stand playing. But somehow it's just entertaining.
So it really boils down to the thing that I'm not understanding is a lot of people are angry because they think that this came out of left field. Before the game even came into early access, they said, hey, by the way, we're going to have cosmetic stuff that you can buy, but it's not going to come out until the game is out of early access. And I think they sort of went backwards on that because they're debuting the crate system before, but it's because they know that it's in beta and they want to test it while the game is still in beta. So I understand the confusion, but I was like, they said from day one, they said cosmetics were going to be purchasable. It just wasn't going to be
matter.
Exactly.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It does not matter. Like, you don't have to buy it. Nobody's holding a gun to your head saying, hey, you buy this or we'll shoot you in the head.
Yep.
Don't buy it. It's like, I don't get, like, and the thing is too, like, people have such short-term memories about things like this, and they just say like that day's never happened. It's funny because Naval Action, from day one, they said this is an early access title. We may eventually have to wipe everything, and they did. And with the caveat that one, you get to keep your rank, which is the most time consuming of all things to do, is to grind out the rank to get your captain ranks and whatnot. You kept that, so that was fine. And then they gave everybody who played a shitload of redeemable stuff like free ships, free, all kinds of free stuff to get you back on your feet again. And people bitched and moaned like, I can't believe they wiped everything, blah, blah, blah. Where did this come from? They said from day one, you idiot.
Yeah.
And it's just people are stupid.
Yeah.
And don't they just want to get all up in arms about stuff.
I think these gamers have nerd PTSD from H1.
Yeah, no,
even though H1 would just not fix, Daybreak would just not fix the game and then say, by the way, look at all these fancy crates. Fucking Blue Ball Studio is looking at this game and fixing it week after week after week after week, putting nonstop work into shit, releasing new features and patches all the time. And they're like, hey, by the way, we got this crate thing that's going to be coming up a little bit. And then people are like, whoa, wait a minute. Yeah. You're not even working on the game and now you want more money? It's like, dude, they fucking made $30 million in selling that game. They probably don't even really need the money for that yet because of how much fucking money they made and how small their studio is. But they know that they just want to make a better game. But I think people just, like I said, nerd PTSD of other games.
It's one thing it's like Daybreak Studios, where this thing has been in fucking EA limbo hell for how many years now? I've had that game. I spent thank God I spent only $15 when it was still a combined game before they split it off. And they're like, oh, skins, cool. Yeah, I'm gonna pay money for this piece of shit game. Yeah, right.
Nope.
So that's one thing. Distract people with all this stuff, and never they made no meaningful changes to that game from the beginning. They split it off until PUBG started whooping their asses on the Steam charts, and all of a sudden, hey guys, we got this.
Yep.
Well, and now, whereas okay, so I was talking about that game-breaking bug in duos, where it was unplayable. The first-person duos was unplayable the next day. where else are you gonna find that kind of turnaround? That kind of like, hey, we got this. Bam, next day it's good. I couldn't believe it actually. Like, yeah, okay, it works now. Like, okay, I tried it. It works great. That's you don't see that, and so I honestly don't think they have a leg to stand on. It's not like they're working on the game. And what's really funny is you see their tweets about the animation stuff, man, because people just go nuts on that stuff.
Yep.
Which is like this person's a goddamn animator. Like, it's like animation has nothing to do with coding and bug fixing. That's artwork.
Yep.
But
totally different department.
Oh, not working on the game. Making stupid animations.
Yeah, or they'll release patch notes about all the bugs that they fixed, and somebody will comment, "Why didn't you fix this other bug? This other bug. This other bug." It's like, are you fucking kidding me? Steam forum, complete abomination. Jesus Christ.
Well, and partially too, it's like anybody and their literal child can get on there, and so you kind of true. Entitled little pricks. So it's like
same with Reddit. Same with fucking Reddit, dude.
Oh man, yeah. There's that whole echo chamber kind of like dissenting opinion is quashed.
Yep. Now, H1Z1's player population has been on a steady increase since August of last year. So for the past year, it's gone up. So August of last year, let's see, it looks like when the game first came out, February 26th. Does that sound right? Like the break off, like a little over a year, maybe a year and a half.
I don't know.
Okay, so King of the Kill, it started off with 20,000 concurrent, and then went slowly down to 10K over the next 6 months. They were about to breach the 10K mark, and then from July 2016, increased kind of 5K for the next 6 months, and then 10K every month. So the peak amount of players, max peak amount of players in H1Z1 King of the Kill is 150,000. That's over a year and a half. Pub hit 500K in less than 6.
Oh yeah, they are crushing the shit out of them.
So
which, let's be honest, H1Z1 is a fucking shitty game.
Yeah,
it's terrible. Like,
yeah.
I mean, I get that there's people who are out there who love the game and who are really good at it. That's great, but like, it's so weird. Like the game, the gunplay, and the way the shooting works. I've never played of the myriad shooters I've played. Never played a game where the shooting was so odd. Where you've got one gun that shoots in this random spray pattern, and you've got this other gun where if you press your mouse clicks within a certain time frame, the gun automatically recoils the exact same pixel where it started from, so you have no recoil. Like,
yeah.
Where does that make sense?
And I've seen people master that, like getting headshots from hundreds of yards.
That does that for you, and all you have to do is just hit your macro and ... bam. Yep. I don't understand.
Yep. So yeah, I don't know what's gonna happen, because I feel like H1Z1 still has a big enough player base. They still have the jump on tournaments, like they're having invitationals, they're having tournaments, they're having charity events. There's still a solid amount of people playing the game on Twitch, but it's just nowhere near where Pub is at. And Pub has been the only game to pass both Counter-Strike and League of Legends as far as concurrent viewers on Twitch, which that fucking says something about the game.
I mean, honestly, that's really cool that PlayerUnknown is getting that recognition for, I mean, the amount of time, like ever since, because originally, I don't know how long ago, I never played it, there was a battle royale for Arma 3. And I don't know how long, but I mean, he spent years chasing this project and working away on this project, and to finally see the success. I mean, kudos to him, man.
Yep.
To get that kind of success from, it's not like he's just stumbled on it, which there's nothing wrong with that too, but I mean, he's put in the time, he's put in the effort, he's making it happen. I think that's awesome.
And now they're already talking about trying to find somebody who's gonna mod this game into something that they want. Like they're openly wanting people to get into this game to mod it, and I think that's fucking awesome.
Oh yeah. I mean, and that's the thing too, because like, I buy a game, I want that game to be mine. You know, I want to be able to do whatever the fuck I want with it. Not like, oh, this is ours, and here's what you can do, and basically you're leasing the software from the developer and the owner. Like that's not how it used to be, and it's Yeah, I don't know.
Yep.
I like the concept of I like the Arma thing where you can mod that thing until it breaks. Um, that's just what I like to see in games.
And it's just to go back in time a little bit, like that's the reason Gary's mod did so
Oh
fucking
yeah.
well, is because of all the mods that came out for Source.
Mm-hmm. People still play that shit.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
All right, well that's kind of it for the talking points that I have. Do you have anything that you wanted to bring up or anything you wanted to talk about before we moved on to question time?
I think that's it.
All right.
I don't know. What are some games that you'd want to play? What are some games that you've had your eye on?
As far as myself, I've been looking at Day of Infamy. I'm already playing that again on Tuesday for my stream. I had so much goddamn fun with it. And I was just going back and looking at clips, and there's this one clip of some dude walking across my field of view and getting fucking obliterated and gore shooting everywhere. And my reaction on game was my fucking genuine reaction, because I can't remember the last time I saw somebody just get blown to pieces and seen limbs go everywhere.
Red Orchestra had that exact same thing. Like if you're within a certain distance, like you literally got turned. It was like orange. It was like red mist. It was like, poof.
Yep.
And like parts. Yeah, it was.
The sound design of the players in that game, people screaming bloody murder, just and seeing body parts flying. It's fucking awesome.
Yeah, PTSD now. Like, oh,
yeah. This is too fucking real, man. So definitely Day of Infamy. I almost said Depth of Infamy. I'll definitely be coming back to Depth. I need to play pub first person because I haven't gotten a chance to do that yet. There's 3 games that I have got recently that I've not gotten a chance to play. Osiris New Dawn, Shadow Warrior, and Shit on Your Friends. Shit on Your Friends is like a local multiplayer couch party game. It looks fucking hilarious. And then Sana just said in chat, there's this game called Fortnite. Have you seen anything about this game yet?
I saw seniors play that, and it looked interesting, but it's like, so it's co-op, right? It's up to how many people is it co-op with?
I don't know.
I have seen a little bit of it. It looked interesting, different but interesting. It looked kind of like one of those. It kind of looked like kind of like an Exile base build hunt gather, but also shooter, but also fast paced. So it wasn't as like slow, and I don't know. It seemed like an interesting concept. 4-person, good baller.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. I have heard of it. Sonder, it seems like or Paul, seems like an interesting game. I might have to try it out. I don't know. We'll see.
Other than that, there's one other game that I'm wanting to play. The Wolfensteins. Those are some of the games that I've been wanting to play for a while now. Wolfenstein New Order, and I think the first one is called Wolfenstein, and then I think Wolfenstein 2 is New Order. And that's kind of all I've had my eyes on. I've been meaning to try and play Red Dead Redemption because I've never played that game. And I have my brother's Xbox here, and I can play it, but I'm trying to figure out how the fuck I'm gonna make it work with my dual PC setup and capture cards and shit. So I haven't gotten a chance to do so, but
Natural Selection.
That
was the name of the game. Natural Selection. Sorry, we were talking about a game way back earlier. Natural Selection is a game where you've got aliens versus these space dudes. And like the aliens can like level up and mutate and go into like these different kinds of aliens, and the space marines can they can like get money and buy base upgrades and turrets and guns and shit.
I see Natural Selection 2. And
there's Natural Selection 1, which I think was a mod. Natural Selection 2 is a standalone game, I think.
Is it primarily multiplayer or a campaign?
Yeah, it's all multiplayer. So there's aliens. It's like, think Depth, except it's like 20, 18. I don't know how many people are in it. People, like 9 aliens, 9 players. And you start out as these like shitty little aliens that can climb around on walls and whatnot, and you try and jump on the Marines and eat them. And it's interesting. It's very much asymmetric, like Depth, except it's actually kind of reversed.
Okay.
In Depth, the sharks start out as the strongest, and the sharks start out as much more powerful, and then the divers can get far more powerful than the sharks. Where in this, the aliens actually are much weaker at the start, but if you let them get too far, they can become vastly more powerful than the space marines or whatever the hell they are.
Okay. Alrighty.
Yeah.
All right. Well, yeah, that's kind of the games that and obviously I'm going to be focused on Rocket League. Me, Vance, and 42 are joining the RLCS tournament that's going to be in a couple weeks. So after I play Dame of Infamy on Tuesday, I'll be training with my team for RLCS, and that's pretty much it for me.
So that's what's your team name again? It's what, Hot Meats or something like that?
The Hot Meats was our 2v2s, but our threes is Diggity Dangles.
Diggity Dangles.
Yep. Which I think that's been our name from the start. I don't think we've had any other threes name. It was like the first thing we thought of, and it's just stuck ever since. All right, cool. We're gonna get on to the Q&A. So the first question is, this one comes from Bloodthirsty Cheeseburger. Hey, do you wear socks with your Crocs? I do not. Do you have any Crocs, Bourbon?
I don't even own Crocs. My Crocs are my Sperry's.
Oh, they're like moccasins, right?
Dock shoes, whatever you want to call them.
Okay.
Boat shoes, whatever.
Boat shoes. Oh, those are the ones you had when you were here.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's pretty much all I wore, I think.
Yeah, I'm a barefoot Crocs kind of guy. I've tried putting socks on while I've had Crocs on. Hey, guys, I'm gonna start a rap career. Name my group Team 11. And I just don't think it looks. I mean, Crocs don't look great at all, but they're comfy as fuck, and they're practical. They're fucking little rubber shoes that you can hose off when they're dirty. I love Crocs.
You hose them off.
Yeah, all them hoes. All right, next question. Comes from Sonder. For whatever reason, Sonder, your question got broken up. All I see is sent. Just the word sent. I'm not sure if you want to submit that in chat. You're more than welcome. Next question comes from Paul. What is the most outrageous or zany gaming related purchase you would get if price was no object, i.e. Corsair gaming chair? Okay, there's a couple other IEs. Hand painted Zelda print, arcade gaming cabinet, pinball machine, Fallout Pit Boy, etc.
Gaming related.
Yep.
Does this have to be like actual like gaming related, or is it gonna be general? And is this like most outrageous, or is this like what are we talking about here? Said no, money's no object.
Just anything that's like ridiculously priced. Like, do you remember? I think it was an Assassin's Creed Collector's Edition that was like $700, but it had like an eagle, like a gold eagle that came with it or some shit. Like all kinds of like retarded sculpture kind of stuff.
Yep. I remember hearing about it. I think it was that Unity? Was it the latest Assassin's Creed?
Yes, I think so.
It's the new Assassin's Creed. That's the one that's got that like Gods Edition or whatever or something.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe like I actually saw this really cool. There's a working E11 airsoft rifle. That's the E11 blaster from Star Wars. That actually is a working airsoft gun that you can shoot and play games with. But it's like a completely like replica prop. Looks badass as fuck.
I don't think I've ever.
But it's not really that expensive. It's like a $300 airsoft gun. So I wouldn't say that's like outrageous.
Yeah, it's not outrageous as far as airsoft like guns.
Gaming, strictly speaking. Yeah, no, that's not anything special in airsoft guns.
Okay.
Terms, or even just like expensive. God, I don't know, man. That's a good question. I don't really have an answer to. If like money was no object, maybe like a working Iron Man suit. That's not like, why? It's like more like general tech, not so much like gaming related.
Got you. Okay.
How about you?
This is like Star Wars related. That also happens to be in a couple games, but there is a Han Solo replica pistol out there somewhere. It's not working, obviously, because there's no laser guns in the world unless the government is hiding them from us. So that would definitely be one. I'm trying to think of. There's this website called This Is Why I'm Broke that has a bunch of like novelty, super expensive bullshit that no one can afford, like jetpacks. You can buy a fucking jetpack.
Yeah.
Game related. I would buy if I could get a fucking Dominus GT vehicle that I could drive, like my Rocket League car as a working vehicle.
Oh, yeah, it's a good one right
Yeah,
there.
if money was no object and I could get a replica, like make it. See, it'd have to be something based off like American Muscle. Like, give me the innards of like a GTO or a Charger or a Mustang or something. Make it super beefy, and then Dominus. Yeah, Dominus. I would probably say that the Dom GT looks the most like a Charger or a GTO. If I had to pick a muscle car that it would look like. So yeah, definitely a working replica of a Rocket League car. But that's not something that really exists. I'm trying to. I don't know what thing would you think I would buy?
Okay. Now see, like, would you would buy?
Yeah, if you, because I can't think of anything. Because I'm not a big like. I like my little knick-knack stuff, like the stuff that glows and my little Tetris light and amiibos. But I've never been a big like expensive collector's item thing, even when it comes to video games.
Yeah, I don't know. I could see you like setting up like one of those real life playing Rocket League with real cars things, maybe like one of those like ridiculous setups, maybe. Or have you ever watched that? It's like these people playing actual Rocket League with real cars.
Yes.
I'm sure you have to have seen it. Yeah,
Yes.
maybe something like that. Now maybe if that was something for me, having given it some thought, probably a working tank, one of my favorite working tanks.
Yeah.
Some of those exist, and if money was no object, I had hundreds of thousands of dollars to repair and operate and drive one of those things. Oh baby, pulling up to McDonald's in a Tiger tank, saying I'd like a double cheeseburger. That would be dope as fuck. I would totally be down for that.
Have you ever seen people that like cook bacon on like the barrels of assault rifles and shit like that? Totally you as a tank,
it's probably not good
it?
for assault rifle, but yeah, you can do it. You do not want if your barrel is hot enough to cook bacon, you are not taking care of your barrel.
This is true.
You're gonna have a real bad time.
I think there was a video where Arnold Schwarzenegger and Furious Pete cooked an ostrich egg on a tank. Like they just put a tank out in the sun and cooked an ostrich egg on it. I think that was Furious Pete. I'm pretty sure.
It gets hot as fucking tank, man. Those are.
It's really hard for me to say because I want to say that there was something collector's item related when the first new Star Wars Battlefront came out that was probably cool, but I can't think of anything right now. So I'd have to say if I had to make up something and money wasn't an issue, Rocket League replica car for sure. Next question. This one comes from Good Bowler. Are you guys excited about AMD Vega or not so much? Now, I believe the Vega is the new AMD GPUs that are supposed to rival like the TIs. I will hold my tongue until it comes out and real world specs and stats are released to the public. Ryzen was just as much hyped as any other CPU that AMD released. And with the track record that AMD has, everybody thought the exact same thing. This is another overhyped product that isn't going to perform well. Everyone was wrong, and Ryzen ended up being super fucking dope. So I think there's a huge chance for Vega to come out and do something and revolutionize the GPU market, just like they did the CPU market. Have you done any reading on this at all yet?
I haven't. I'm kind of out of the loop just because my research is generally focused towards like what I'm buying, and I'm kind of like a blue and green fanboy, so I'm not afraid to spend the extra money to get like the absolute best, even though it's not as good price per dollar, and I recognize that. But a lot of like was said, all these different new versions, Bulldozer, this, that, and the other. Like, oh, they're gonna bury them. They're gonna be so much better. They're just gonna crush them. They're good. They've always been good. They've never been poorly performing, and they've always been better as far as performance per dollar, but on an absolute quantitative or qualitative like benchmarks works better. They still haven't been doing so. They haven't been beating them flat out, even though you're going to pay a hefty chunk of change more if you're going to go Intel and Nvidia. So no, I haven't done much. But you know what? If they do, that's great, because it's not like I have to have Nvidia. I have to have Intel. I just want whatever's best.
Yep.
And if that's AMD and the AMD and and CPU and GPU, then that's great, honestly, because all that's do is give competition, and that's better for everybody. Like, look at what PUBG did to Daybreak. Daybreak's like, oh shit, we better get off our asses. Right now.
Yep.
Let's be real. Intel, I feel like has been like they've not really been on a serious rush to really double down and really bust out the numbers, because they're on top of the heap and they don't have to worry about it.
Yep.
And the same with Nvidia. So I think a little bit of a one-upmanship would be good for them. So I hope, honestly, it does bust out all the expectations that everybody's got for it.
I agree, and that kind of ties into our next question. This one comes from Good Bowler. Nope, this one comes from Sonder. I'm sorry. If PUBG is the mecca of the Battle Royale class right now, where does it go from here? How do expand the current mode of the game? How do?
What do? I don't know, man. VR.
VR Battle Royale.
Be fucking dope. I think it would be pretty wild. I got the chance to play, actually, for the first time, play a VR game in Michigan, and that was just mind-blowing. Because VR has been out for so long, and I've seen people play it. I've watched like 42 stream it. It always looks fun, but it's like, okay, you're just using your hands instead of a mouse and keyboard. Big whoop. But you cannot experience and understand just how much more immersive it is having that strapped to your head, where you can look around. Like, literally the first 30 seconds I spent in that game was literally just staring down at my hands, watching my fingers move as I was like, my hands are actually here.
Yeah,
this is so weird.
Yep.
It just blew my mind. And so I just want to see, that's the future right there, honestly. And I get that some people cannot play that, but I want to say that's the future of gaming right there.
And that makes me so sad.
Anywhere. Like, that can go in Sims, that can go in first-person shooters. And granted, I could also see it where it's like, you don't have to play it that way. Like, it can be virtual reality, but you can also play with a mouse and keyboard as well.
Yep.
But the difference between, you press this button and you whip out a shotgun, versus I reach out and pull out a shotgun, is just insane. It makes it so badass.
That was one of the coolest. What was the name? Do you remember the name of the game that we played?
Robot game.
Yeah.
Fucking mint.
So we played this robot shooting VR game, to where in order to equip yourself with weapons, you had to put your arms at your sides like you were reaching for holsters and grab, and you would pull up 2 pistols, each with 20 rounds in the clip. And then when you were done, you could either just drop the pistols, or you could chuck them at robots and kill them with that. And you had to reach back down at your sides to pull up new weapons. If you wanted to pull out a shotgun, you would reach behind your back, grab and pull, and then you would bring out a fucking double-barreled shotgun and just fuck people up. If you guys have not experienced VR yet, I cannot fucking tell you how life-changing it was and how badly I wanted to spend money on VR at that time. I was completely blown away. And the Oculus was the first generation of VR of its time. Like, we've had other VR things like here and there, but this is like the first mainstream VR headset, and it was pretty fucking good, I must say. I know the Vive is better. I haven't had a chance to try the Vive yet, but the Oculus was off the fucking charts. I was impressed.
Yeah, it was a ton of fun. And it's only to get better, as like They make improvements in screens, making it lighter weight, making the sensor technology more adept, get higher density,
Wireless.
wireless. This is first gen, and already it'll blow your goddamn mind. Like, because I had seen people playing it, and the difference between seeing and actually doing it yourself is unreal. Like, more than I could have even, if I had to like guess and say, okay, it'll be so much better. It'll be a bit better. It'll be more interesting. It'll be more fun. It was so much more fun than I could ever have anticipated. I had no way of realizing how cool it was. Even just when I think BBR played the first time, I was just there watching him do it. I was like, okay, wow. So I mean, this looks cool and whatnot. Versus then I was like, when I like strapped it in, and I was just like, oh my god, I'm like here.
Yep.
It was nuts.
And the one
super hot too. It's
super hot
with that game. It was so much fun.
Yeah.
Super frustrating, but so much fun.
The point that you brought up when we first started talking about this is how the Oculus has sensors whether you're not pressing buttons on the controllers, so you can move your fingers within the controller without pressing buttons, and you see your robotic fingers move in the game. That was trippy as shit. That was insane.
Like I said, literally, I'm not kidding. When I said my first 30 seconds, I was like, my fingers. I was like, and I was like watching my fingers mimic what I was like, it's the same.
Yeah, I'm Johnny Five. Fucking crazy. So yeah, if you guys have not had a chance to try VR, if you get the chance, oh my god, go do it soon.
Owe it to yourself. Even if, and I get like it's very unfortunate, like some people, and this is probably going to change as you get higher refresh rates, better screens. It's gonna like that desync in that lag is gonna get better. I know some people now can't play it or they get nauseous or whatnot. That's unfortunate. But you have to at least try it first before you discard it.
What did you think of the frame rate of the headset?
I also didn't notice it. I wasn't really paying attention to it. I was too busy fucking up robots, man, being a badass. I didn't really notice the frame rate.
I think I don't think it was
I
quite.
think I've been moving around more because that's the one thing too is you're really not like actually like you're doing more turning than you are moving around.
Yep.
So I didn't notice. I wasn't really paying attention. I think if I played it more, and the more I played it, then it would something that would start to pop out to me. But honestly, the novelty was just so mind blowing that I didn't really notice any technical issues whatsoever.
I think what that says is it was smooth, and you weren't noticing if it was shit.
Noticeable.
Yep.
And if I played the Vive and went back to it, which I know the Vive is technically supposed to have a better display.
Yep.
I might notice it then, but for that being, I don't have anything to compare it against. So.
Word. All right, next question.
What are you drinking, by the way? You never said.
Woo, baby. This is Wild Sour.
Oh.
It is a sour from Distill Brewery. So this one's called Syncopathic. I'm salivating so much just from taking a swig of that. Syncopathic is the cool harmonization of a refreshingly tart and acidic ale with citrusy, fruity, and floral dry hops, normally in concert with pale ales, with totally rad aromas and flavors reminiscent of grapefruit, orange, lemon, tangerine, pineapple, and hints of pine, giving way to a biscuity, crackery malt back beat, low bitterness, and a dry finish to bring everything to sync. Cheers. So it's a
description.
Dry hop sour ale, 6%. These are fucking fantastic. This is definitely one of my favorite beers right now. I can't remember if I got it while you guys were here or if it was one of the stops after you guys had already left. But these are super fucking good if you guys like sours. And I just fucking spilled. Damn it! I thought I grabbed the empty can. I didn't spill on hardware, but I did fucking spill.
Oh no.
Well, babe, can I have a towel, please? Yeah, this is why you have carpet in your office.
This is why you can't have nice things, Naaackers.
God damn it! And then thank God there's a lot. Yeah, can I have a towel, please? She hands me napkins. That's here. Clean up a whole can of beer with this encyclopedia of napkins. I shouldn't be talking bad about the person doing me a favor. So yeah, anyways, I mean, that was a good beer, but now I'm not gonna have any more of it. I think most of it's...
Oh, that's too bad. Was that your last one?
It is. It fucking is, yeah. And I was debating whether or not I was gonna drink it tonight or not. Thank you. And I chose to, and that was obviously the wrong decision because this is the universe telling me you're bad, Naaackers. Bad.
What did you do to deserve this?
Oh, so many things. Next question comes from Sonder. Is the S or C silent in the word scent?
That's a trick question. And honestly, I don't know the answer. I'm going to phone a friend and say, hey, we need help.
Right.
Well, see, because there's like, S can also be a C noise, right?
Yes.
Citrus. It's like citrus. So I don't fucking know. You'll have to tell me, Sonder. Back at you, buddy.
So a C can emulate the sounds of an S.
S.
But S cannot simulate the sounds of a C.
But that still could be either, though.
But it can't. Like,
well, you said it could be an S or a C. Is the S silent or a C?
So if I were to say the word cent, as in money, currency, cent, C-E-N-T.
Yeah.
You could say, okay, is he saying cent, S-C-E-N-T, or is he saying cent, C-E-N-T?
Yeah, and the answer is you have no idea.
But there's no word that starts with an S that you could say, is he saying a word that starts with an S or is with a C? Like, the letter S cannot simulate a K.
Shit, well, right, but that's not the point, though, because the point is the S could be silent and it still be an S sound because the C is making an S sound. Or the S could not be silent. It's the C that's silent. I don't know. I don't honestly know.
I would, if I had to pick, I would say the C is silent because the C is the letter that can be a K sound or a S sound. S's can only be S's or S's.
I don't know.
I mean, what in what word?
No, I'm not saying that S could be a C sound, but I could say it could definitely be silent or it could not be silent. Either could be silent. I'm not saying that S can be a C sound. It can either be silent. Late Middle English, drop into English knowledge.
Yeah, go ahead and read it out loud, Bourbon.
The addition of C. Okay, late Middle English denoting the sense of smell from Old French sentir, perceive, smell, from Latin sentir. I'm probably butchering that. The addition of C in the 17th century is unexplained, so the C is silent and also shouldn't really be there, but it is.
Crescent. Is it Crescent? Right?
I'm a fucking awful speller.
Crescent.
But I think it's an S, yeah.
It is an Scent. So what
is it?
It's your penis?
42. God damn it. 42 with your fucking white thing. I can't see it. You can't read it.
Are you not using a dark theme for Twitch chat, you psychopath?
I'm not.
What? No wonder your monitor is blinding you. Dark theme, homie.
No, that's not. My monitor's not blinding me from Twitch chat. Monitor's blinding me is when I have a white document open.
Okay.
And it's like, oh.
Okay, so I was wrong. If I was gonna place the bet, I was gonna put it on, what did I say? S? S is silent? I can't remember now. I can't remember what I said.
I think you said I don't know. I think you said C was silent, so I think you were right.
Did I, Chad, was I right? But, I mean, my reasoning for me thinking I was right was completely off base. But I can't remember now. But yeah, I would just...
Two.
He doesn't like pineapple on pizza. He doesn't use dark theme.
I will not apologize.
Does beer yoga.
Stance on pineapple.
What kind of guest are you, Bourbon? So yeah, I would...
Terrible. The worst.
It's just... It's one of those weird things. But if I had to choose to drop a letter... I would drop the C. Bitch.
Oh, honestly, I would too. I was just trying to make the point that technically from a pronunciation standpoint, you really wouldn't know if which one was silent because they can both make an S sound.
True.
That's what I was trying to say.
Great question.
That's confusing, man. My brain hurts now.
Yeah.
Good job, Thunder.
Those Those are the kind of questions we're looking for, chat. Very impressive. And one of the things I've started doing is I'm actually going to be taking the Q&A portion of the entire show and highlighting that and exporting them to YouTube. So just the Q&A of every episode is going to be coming up on YouTube pretty soon. So the good questions are encouraged. Next question.
Stoner, I think of things. This is true.
This is true.
Have stoner friends, can confirm.
This question comes from Good Bowler. Second to last question. If your phone could only have 5 songs on it, what would they be?
First off, the Imperial March. Hands down.
Okay.
Oh, man, that's so hard. Something, maybe like something like from Glitch Mob. Maybe
you like Glitch Mob?
Soundtrack. Yeah, I do,
no
man.
Shit.
I actually was just listening to that at work Friday or Wednesday, Thursday. I don't remember. But yeah.
Dude, I saw Glitch Mod live at Electric Forest as the sun was setting. That was one of the most epic fucking sets I've ever seen. They were insane.
Definitely one from, speaking of epic sets, Muse, I would say, would be one of them. Something from Muse. No shit, Sonder, get the fuck out of here. What?
Wow, holy shit.
Wild.
God damn it, Sonder.
Fucking Sonder. Our own private rock star. Maybe something classical, and what else? That's what, 4 things, I think. And I've given no specific titles. Are you gonna hold that against me?
Nope.
Who's that? Good Bowler who asked this question?
Yes.
Okay, so I'll go with titles. Muse. Shit. I would, as soon as I had to choose a title, I would blank out.
You're close enough.
I can't.
We'll say
good, that's close enough. Yeah.
Like your favorite 1.5 hour electronic compilation playlist. So I'm gonna make this real fucking easy for myself and just sort my iTunes by number of plays.
Wow, cheater.
Yo, use technology in your favor, my friends. This is going to perfectly encapsulate my inner fuckboy. My number 1 played song on my iTunes playlist is Closer by the Chainsmokers.
Oh my god.
By like 150 plays. Like when that song first dropped.
Wow.
Yeah. I'm not afraid to admit it, dude. So Closer by the Chainsmokers, For You by Black Bear, On the Run by Dance Gavin Dance, Alone by Marshmello, and then the song called You Got Me by Decoy Octo. Those are my 5 most listened to songs in iTunes. So that's like ever since I switched to Apple Music, so probably a year or a year and a half ago. But I mean, those have been in my playlist ever fucking since. So I definitely go with those tracks.
Yeah, so I had to look it up because I couldn't remember. It would probably be one of Muse's top titles, like Madness, Dead Inside, something like that. It's so hard though because like I'm all over the map for music. Everything from classical to shit. I love pop music. I like listening to Taylor Swift sometimes. I will not apologize for that. You know, it's whatever. I'm just all over. I'm basically just I'm all over the map. I have no idea. I hear something, I like it. You know, Black Keys, Arctic Monkeys,
Black Keys.
You name it. It's just, yeah. Congos is a really good one. They're a bunch of South African dudes.
Okay.
And I really love the sound of their music. They have really good music.
You ever listen to speaking of Africa, fucking the rap group? Oh my god, it's Ninja and fucking D Antwoord.
No, I have not. I'm honestly, you know, at least mainstream rap, I cannot abide. Some of the ones that are actually more like, not just like straight fuck the police.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like that are actually more like, they actually have more well thought out lyrics and actually well crafted out. They're actually saying something comprehensible.
Okay.
Like, but I just can't like that and like just like straight up country music are the only two things I cannot listen to.
I got you.
Anything else is pretty much fair game. So no, I've not listened to that. And you know, it's funny, Good Boy, that you say Thunderstruck by AC/DC because I was just listening to that Friday as I was getting ready to wrap up work. Just Thunderstruck, man.
Yeah.
Just jamming out Thunderstruck. So yeah, there's so many good songs out there. And nobody's listened to them all, so it's hard. It's hard to pick.
D'Antwoord is nowhere near mainstream rap. It sounds like the girl who raps and sings sounds like a Teletubby on helium. It's super high pitch, super quick. And the guy Ninja, he like wears like whitey tighties on stage, and he's got like frosted tip. Like think of like not who am I thinking of?
Whitey tighties, man.
He's just crazy, but they're both from, I think they're both from South Africa. And they're super fucking dope. Their live shows are always off the chain and really interesting group. So, all right.
I'll have to at least try them out.
Last
D'Antwoord.
Yeah, D'Antwoord. Yep. I think I'm gonna look and see what my favorite song of them is. Come on, YouTube, load D'Antwoord, because they were in the movie Chappie.
Which I actually never saw. That looked interesting.
Is it Fatty Boom Boom? I think is the song that I like. It's either Fatty Boom Boom or what's the other? I Think You Freaky. Instead of I Think You're Freaky, I Think You Freaky. It's such a weird fucking song, but super good. All right, last question, also from Good Bowler. I've already answered this on previous episodes, so I'll skip it. For you,
this is true, Paul.
Who's your favorite stand-up comedian?
My favorite stand-up comedian. You know, what's his name? Chris. Is it Chris Rock? No, I'm getting confused. He was just in Central Intelligence.
Oh, The Rock. Dwayne Johnson.
Not The Rock, but
Kevin Hart.
Kevin Hart.
Yeah.
Jesus. Kevin Hart's really funny. I don't watch a bunch of stand-up comedy. So like off the cuff, that's probably somebody like I'd say. I don't know. Every once in a while I'll see one, but I have a terrible memory on like remembering names of things like that. So unless it stands out to me,
gotcha.
I'd have to go with maybe Kevin Hart.
Okay. All right. Well, that is going to be it for the question and answer portion of the show. Chad, thank you so much for submitting those questions to both me and my fellow here. That is much appreciated. And you guys always bring the hot questions. Very, very fucking dope. So that is actually going to be the end of the podcast tonight. Appreciate everybody coming out. Now, Bourbon, I know you're not on social media too much, but I know that you were talking about streaming soon. Do you have any sort of ETA on when you might be doing that?
Tell you what, I'm actually moving this month. So potentially next month.
All right.
Say that.
Now, do me a favor. Type anything in chat. Anybody who enjoyed that tank video that I posted a little bit earlier and you want to see what this homie is going to do on stream, click on his name, give him a follow, leave the notify when this guy goes live on. So when this dude finally goes live for the first time, you guys can check in and say, I was there day fucking one, bitches. And it better be good, Bourbon, or I'm going to come for you. But I'm gonna be there regardless.
You'll never take me alive.
Yeah.
I have guns.
I have
one right here.
You have to let me know when that first stream, because I want to be there right when you start, and I want to be there the whole time. So everybody in chat,
I will hook you up.
Click on fucking Bourbon88 in chat. Give him a follow. Leave those live notifications on. And anything else you want to say before we sign off?
No, that was awesome. Thanks for having me. I know I'm not like a streamer person, but it was great.
It's all good.
It's all good. Okay.
It's okay. That's one of the best parts about the show is I know that I want to have people on that aren't streamers, because there's people who I genuinely just want to keep up with, and I I genuinely care about their well-being and their future, so it's good to have this time away from gaming that we can just kind of hang out and shoot the shit. So again, greatly appreciate you being on the show, man. It was awesome.
Awesome. Thanks for having me.
Hell yeah. As far as the other podcast, guys, this coming Sunday, this next Sunday, is going to be a team deathmatch episode with the full crew. And then the Sunday after that is going to be a 1v1 episode with Sonder, who's in chat, and we're going to hear some great fucking stories. I'm not going to give you any sort of details about what Sonder does and who he is, but I can tell you that it's going to be an interesting as fuck episode.
It's just going to be crazy.
Yeah, I'm super excited. So we got some great guests coming up on the show. Again, thank you everybody that came and hung out tonight. I got some streams coming up later in the week. But other than that, again, thank you so much. It was great having everybody here. And I will see you guys next time. Bourbon, give me a heartfelt goodbye.